Rose. I have the honor of serving as Press Secretary and Director of Media Relations for Harris County Precinct 4 Commissioner Lesley Briones, and we are glad that you have joined us today for this important press conference regarding funding for Harris County Public Health Refugee Clinic. We will hear first from County Attorney Christian Menefee, followed by Commissioner Lesley Briones. Now, please help me welcome your Harris County Attorney, Christian Menefee.
All right, everybody come closer so we're not all... Afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Christian Menefee, the Harris County Attorney. I want to start off by saying a special thank you to the fantastic folks on my team who helped make today possible. Jonathan Gabriel Chaim van Bon, Eleanor Matheson, Nina Oishi, and Chris Garza. Tiffany Bingham, who also couldn't be here today, did fantastic work on this. Oh, she's here. Oh, hey, okay. Tiffany Bingham is here as well, and of course, a special thank you to Harris County Commissioner Lesley Briones for her fantastic partnership on this. We're here today to announce that we are suing the Trump administration, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. We're taking them to court to force the release of more than $10 million in refugee resettlement funds, funds that Congress has already approved, and funds our community is entitled to. In October, Harris County was cleared to receive this money to operate our Refugee Health Screening Program, which has served the people of this county for more than 40 years. This is not new. But in January, the Trump administration issued an executive order that effectively froze all federal grants, including these funds that we're talking about here today. There was no explanation, no justification, just chaos, cruelty, disguised as policy, and the HHS has since gone silent. We've asked again and again when the money is coming, but we've received no answers from the Trump administration. So we're doing what you do when government breaks the rules. We're filing a lawsuit. Our Refugee Resettlement and Screening Health Program is one of the longest running programs of its kind in the entire country. Every year it serves over 11,000 legally admitted individuals, refugees, survivors of trafficking, and special visa holders from places like Cuba, Afghanistan, the Ukraine, and Venezuela. These are people who have already been vetted, they've already been approved, and they've already been admitted by the U.S. government. They've escaped war, violence, and persecution. And once here, it's our job to make sure that they settle in safely, and that starts with providing them with health care. Now, we've provided health screenings, immunizations, and disease testing, including for things like TB and hepatitis, to protect not just them, but our entire community. This program also delivers over 35,000 shots to folks each year. Our team includes more than 30 highly trained staff, people who speak the languages, understand the cultures, and provide trauma-informed care. If this funding stays frozen, these people will be out of work, and our clinics, 2 of them, may be shut down. Now, I want to be clear. This is not some new or radical program that the Trump administration has responded to. This has been a part of U.S. policy since World War II. Congress has consistently funded refugee resettlement programs for people fleeing crises, including Cubans in the 1980s, Afghans who helped our American troops, and more recently, Ukrainians escaping war. Let's be clear. This freeze violates the United States Constitution and several federal laws. Congress controls the money, not Donald Trump, not HHS, and not Elon Musk's Twitter feed. HHS was told by the courts, they were told by Congress, and if they bothered to read the law, they would know that they must distribute these funds. And yet, the Trump administration is ignoring this mandate. Harris County has already delivered care to thousands of people in 2025, but the Trump administration is refusing to reimburse us for over $1.25 million in expenses. If we keep going without these funds, that number will climb to over $6 million by the end of 2025. Staff have already started leaving, 19 positions are currently unfilled, and over 3,000 people are stuck on a wait list, including some waiting for infectious disease testing. At this rate, we will not finish our screenings until December, and our ability to prevent outbreaks in the community will be seriously compromised. We're asking a court to do as many other courts across this country have done, and that's order the Trump administration to do the right thing and to do its job. Release the money that Congress has already appropriated, and let us keep running a program that saves lives and protects public health. This is not a red versus blue issue. This is a right versus wrong issue. It's about keeping our promises, protecting our people, and respecting the law. President Trump may think that breaking the rules is a show of strength, but here in Harris County, we know better. This program is legal, it's moral, and we're going to fight for it every single step of the way. You all know this is not the county's first time having to engage with Republican leaders such as Governor Greg Abbott or even President Donald Trump. We're going to stand for the rule of law. We're going to stand for these programs that have helped so many folks in our community, and we're going to fight it out in the courts because it's necessary. With that, I will turn it over to our fantastic Harris County Commissioner for Precinct 4, Lesley Briones.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I want to thank our Harris County Attorney, Menefee, and all of his excellent team of lawyers. We have some of the best lawyers in the country advancing justice here in Harris County. So thank you, County Attorney Menefee, for leading the charge. I also want to acknowledge we have a representative from Judge Hidalgo's office, Ms. Deidre George. Thank you for being here today, as well as all of my Harris County Precinct 4 team members. I stand here today and I welcome you to the modern-day Ellis Island here in Gulfton. This is in the heart of Houston, the heart of Harris County, and the heart of Precinct 4. And I stand here not only as your commissioner and as a lawyer and a former judge, but as a mom who is a proud American raising her daughters in the greatest country in the world. But when you have the greatest country in the world turning its back on its commitments, on its constitution, on the separation of powers, on funding that has already been appropriated by Congress, this is not the best of America. We are a country that honors the rule of law and honors its commitments. These individuals are legally in our country seeking safety, protection. These individuals, these refugees, these individuals seeking asylum are here. They've been approved by Congress, and they are waiting health screenings, immunizations, and now this federal funding is frozen. That is not right, that is not just, that is not legal, and that is un-American. So I stand here today proud that we will be seeking justice in court. And tomorrow in Commissioner's Court, we will be discussing this item as well. These refugee clinics, specifically the one here in Harris County, is the largest in Texas and one of the largest in the United States. This, as our County Attorney Menefee stated, this is a program that has been going on for over 40 years. This is not new. And again, it is un-American to pull the rug on a commitment that is long founded. I hope that for the sake of these individuals who believed in the promise of our great country, that justice will prevail. And I am confident that justice will prevail. But in the meantime, Harris County will fight. We will stand on the right side of history and on the right side of justice. Thank you to our Spanish language media partners who are here. I will do a very brief version of this in Spanish. Buenas tardes a todos. Soy Lesley Briones, su comisionada del Condado Jerez de Precinto 4. Primero quiero dar las gracias al fiscal del Condado Jerez, Menefee, y también todos los abogados que nos están ayudando y luchando por la justicia aquí en el Condado Jerez. Y también quiero dar las gracias a la jueza Lina Hidalgo y su compañera de trabajo, la señora George, que está aquí con nosotros. Estoy aquí no solamente como su comisionada, pero como abogada, fui jueza, pero más que nada soy mamá. Soy mamá y una americana con tanto orgullo de la promesa de este gran país. Pero hoy es un día bien problemático en nuestro país. Estamos aquí en Gulfton, nuestra isla Ellis, hogar de muchos refugiados que buscan seguridad y buscan el sueño americano. Pero la administración Trump congeló $10.5 millones para la clínica de refugiados del condado Harris Public Health, el mayor programa de evaluación médica de Texas, financiado por el gobierno federal y que ha servido por más de 40 años en este país tenemos este programa. estamos en una situación que estas víctimas del tráfico humano, entre otros casos, que están yendo de sus países en situación de guerra, de violencia, y estas personas están en este país legalmente y están esperando exámenes y vacunas. La decisión pone en riesgo la salud pública en medio de un brote de sarampión. Con casos así, están en juego más de 700 millones de dólares en ayudas federales. Las organizaciones sin fines de lucro que han dado educación y que cubren necesidades básicas dejarán de tener apoyo. Muchos podrían quedar sin hogar ni asistencia. Y ya se han perdido miles de empleos, entre otros males, por estas decisiones del presidente Trump. Y por estas y otras razones estamos tomando acción aquí en el Condado Jerez. La demanda legal busca revertir el congelamiento injusto y peligroso de fondos para la clínica de refugiados. Seguirá atendiendo a 3,000 personas que ya están aquí en el Condado Jerez legalmente, que están esperando este cuidado. Y eso no solamente afecta la salud de estas personas, pero también de toda la comunidad. Mientras no tenemos estos fondos federales, tenemos riesgos todos. Y vamos a continuar la lucha aquí en el Condado Jerez. Lucharemos porque creemos en un gobierno que cumple con sus compromisos, que sigue la ley, que respeta la Constitución y más que nada tiene la empatía que representa este gran país de Estados Unidos. Y aquí en el Condado Jerez seguirá siendo un lugar acogedor y solidario para quienes buscan un futuro mejor. Así que muchas gracias. Juntos como americanos, esta comunidad deberíamos estar luchando para el futuro de este gran país. Y estos fondos federales son necesarios para todo nuestro futuro y para nuestra salud pública. Así que muchísimas gracias. Yo sé que la justicia se va a ganar porque estamos en el lado bien de la historia. Thank you again for being here. I'm going to turn it back over to our Harris County Attorney, Christian Menefee.
Stay up there and got questions. John. All right, we'll open it up for questions. We're thinking about 11,000 folks per year, but you know that just captures the refugees who are being treated. But we also have to talk about the employees who work at these facilities as well. So we're looking at more than 10,000 people who are going to be impacted for services that we have provided year after year under president after president. There's been no problem until the Trump administration got into office for the second term. 37. Yeah, we're running into multiple challenges already. One major issue is the county has already started to provide care here in this year for 2025, and there's over $1 million that we're seeking reimbursement for that the Trump administration is refusing to reimburse us for. So that's already incredibly problematic. But not to mention, as we are recruiting folks to come work in this incredibly important space, we're having trouble recruiting them now. We have 19 positions that are unfilled, and the reason is folks don't know if the job is going to exist several months from now, because we've seen time and time again the Trump administration will disobey the rule of law. And, you know, you heard in our comments, but we're talking about real people who are fleeing war-torn countries, people who are fleeing persecution, people who came to America because of the promise of the American dream and because they believe that they would have safety, shelter, healthcare, all the things that we promise to folks in this country. And instead, they're being targeted by a president and a co-president, Elon Musk, who are playing games with our government. So, it's shameful, it's reprehensible, and we're filing this lawsuit to make them do the right thing in court. Right now, we're doing everything we can to continue providing the services, and so we're confident in our legal position in this case. The Trump administration has been sued before. This is obviously not their first rodeo in the court, and they've lost on these exact issues because judges from across the country understand what we all know, and that's that there's no method to the madness with the Trump administration. They're just flouting the Constitution and flouting our laws. So we feel good about our strategy, and we're going to do everything we can to continue providing services to these folks here in Harris County. It's in the District of Columbia, in D.C. District, yeah. And a special thank you to the lawyers in my office who got licensed in the D.C. District because we knew that Donald Trump and Elon Musk would be doing stuff like this. So. Yeah, so we're talking about health screenings, we're talking about shots. These are folks, as I mentioned, who are coming from countries that are developing, in many instances, war-torn countries. And so, infectious diseases, communicable diseases, anybody who does that type of work knows that it's not good enough to just have 2 people immunized, right? Or 3 people in a large group. You need to make sure that the entire group is in a healthy place so that diseases don't spread. So it's incredibly important that these folks have access to these services, not just to protect those communities, although that is important, but also to protect our broader community here in Harris County. And the commissioner, I thought, put it so eloquently, how these people worked hard to get to this country and have been approved by the government to be here. They are here legally. There are no questions about whether they have undocumented status, but they're still being targeted by the American government. That's wrong, and that's why we filed this lawsuit. All right, thank y'all very much.